are you? Hello? Right. So, that was, if anyone was watching my YouTube channel, that's about as fast as I can work on making a thumbnail and getting my VOD live. And I did it in the background. As soon as I hit the live button, I was like, oh crap, I need to do that too. But hey, that made me get that stuff done faster. So, anyways. Yeah. Alright, I was about to say, hey troll fan, but I already said hi in chat, so. Anyways, we just killed a Leviathan. Thank you everyone that watches the VOD. I know not a lot of people are able to make it for the live part, but hopefully the VODs are nice to skim through or even marathon, I don't know, have it playing in the background. I imagine that to some degree, because I'm not making a whole lot of racket, they're actually not bad for background noise when you're falling asleep kind of thing. Thank you. I appreciate that. But, hard at the... Oh, ignore this guy. We don't talk to this guy. This guy doesn't mean a thing. He means nothing. We're going to resume the story. I know we're almost done with part 5, and part 6 is going to be leading up to Heaven's Ward. We gotta be done with part 5 just about. I think it wants us to beat Ramula before we're actually done with it, though. You know, let's wrap up all the primals and that. But, yeah, running up on midnight was not a cool idea for me. I ended up, not winding down very quickly once I got off stream. But, I hope you guys enjoy this playthrough, and, yeah. Pardon me, gotta wet the whistle. Make sure my throat is well lubricated. I'm sure that came out right. Alright, let's see here. Our friends, the very isle itself, everyone and everything. Oh right, we left on the cliffhanger. Dun dun dun. The Isle of Val disappeared. We know what happens later, but for at least another 3 years or so, we actually really have no idea what happened to that Isle of Val, or even how big it was, which turns out to be a pretty big island. But yes, let's see here. Our friends, the very isle itself, everyone and everything. No, it avails us not to speculate. Aranje will send word if there are any developments. Until such time as he does, he must remain firmly focused on which is within our power to change. With that in mind, I would speak of a different matter, one closer to home. I mean, you're gonna get a present for your grandma, or for your mom, I think, maybe. It concerns the etheric fluctuations that we had previously attributed to King Malawag the 12th. Oh, right, okay, never mind, it is remote. That the king is no more is a blessing for which we have you to thank. Yet all is not well in the 12th Wood. Our latest readings reveal an ongoing etheric disturbance of considerable magnitude. They may even suggest the presence of a primal. Needless to say, the mere possibility warrants an immediate investigation. And I would have you... Celia, I do not wish to interrupt, but we have a problem. What better problem? She's pretty hot, but her personality is pretty dumb. I mean, I guess that's typical for a blonde. Ooh. I suppose the personality doesn't matter then, huh? A band of refugees hailing from Olga this time, or come from Redmond's Toll seeking asylum. It would seem they expect us to afford them the same treatment we gave the Domans. At present, they are at the 7th heaven, awaiting a formal response. Wait, who was it again? Some other refugees. I see. Mayhap this was to be expected. I shall meet with them at once. Celia, I know you full well I know you full well we haven't the resources to accommodate many people. Consider what will happen if you do this. Word will spread and more will follow. Your opinion is duly noted, but I will hear their suit. Papago, I would be grateful for your presence at this meeting. Sure, let's go kick some, hoity-toity Alamegans that are probably like, oh, why all these sailor refugees get a spot and we don't get a spot? And it's just like, well, for one, they're as far as we can surmise, they're more eager to help and not just mooch off the system. Alright, who they gotta have this? Okay. These guys. Fun. Draggle-tailed refugee. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, Alamegans were gonna come and try and mooch off of this opportunity. I apologize for keeping you waiting. My name is Benfilia, and I lead the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. And we are not a charity, okay? 12 be praised, it is you. We're ready and willing to work, same as the Dolmens. Just give us a task and we'll see it done. Pray calm yourselves. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I'm not of your situation. Beg your pardon, antecedent. I ain't so good with words. We've been living off the scraps of Ulda for years now, trying to piece together a life to replace the one what got took. They say there's work, but there's not for an honest man. Not as wouldn't solely as sooner than his palms in the road. The flames do what they can for us, of course, but it ain't near enough. And it's getting worse. When the calamity brought us to our knees, those rich bastards in the city didn't help us. They didn't help us up. They climbed on our backs. I don't pretend to be clever, but even I can see what's coming. I knew we had to run. The only question was where. And then it came to me. Revenant's toll. I mean, you took them foreigners in, didn't you? So you do the same for us? Sorry, dude. It's a little more complicated, yeah. I fear the situation is rather more complicated. While it is true that we accepted the Dolmen's petition for aid, that decision was a product of extraordinary circumstances. I sympathize deeply with your plight, but pray understand it is not possible for an organization of our means to aid all who have been affected by the calamity. And so it is with great regret that I must deny your request. But we've got nowhere else to go. You're turning your back on us? If I might have a word. Tatara is on this. Ill tidings from Gul'dan, my lady. Alphino has been wounded. Okay, what did he get into this time? What? How? Is it serious? You got a paper cut for all those documents that he's been leafing through. I cannot say for certain, but I fear it might be. According to the Flames, the refugees started a riot. They went wild, apparently, lashing out at any and everyone. Yes, he stepped in. He tried to stop them with words. How cute. That can't be right. Why would they? They must have been provoked. The demonstration was meant to be peaceful. They are so on point with this. Exactly. This is like twinning way too hard with real world stuff right now. Seven Hells. Now the Blades have an excuse. They'll round us up and kill anyone who tries to resist. Antecedent, please. If you won't help us build a new life, at least help us keep the ones we got. My lady, we're not ones to stand idly by and watch innocents suffer. However, until we have more of the circumstances surrounding this riot, until we know more of the circumstances, I am not certain what aid, if any, we can provide. If the authorities determine that the refugees attacked without provocation, then those responsible will have to answer for their actions. How can you be so blind? Find out Fennel, and quickly. If he's in danger or worse, I would have you and none other by his side. Thank you. Pray do not concern yourself with the matter we were discussing earlier. Ida and Papalamo will see to it. They're gonna check out the primal stuff. Alpha is being treated in the hourglass. Hurry, Flippable. Don't worry. I can do it, because I happen to be a hero. I actually do recall going through this, and I'm like, Jesus, does my character ever show any sign of that they're getting, like, haggard from all of this, getting dragged around? I don't know why the refugees are being refugees, though. Why don't they just pick up a sword and be a stealth-sword? If they're gonna die anyways, might as well die, trying to make a better living, like, through force. Killing monsters, keeping the roads clear, I'm sure they would earn more than their fair share. Alright. He's just standing there. I don't understand what the issue was.
Come, you must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well.
I hate your voice. I don't know if you're the new voice actor, but I hate your arrogant tone.
This riot was anything but an isolated incident.
Mwah.
There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over.
Yeah. We've been aware of that for quite a while.
Ul'dah is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life.
Yeah. Makes sense. I agree.
To an Ul'dan, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence.
There should be some sort of control. Some sort of...
So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the Calamity?
Honestly, I would say just put them to work.
Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the Ul'dan way of thinking, they may as well not exist. Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Rauban and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor.
Okay.
Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by the
I had a
council grow by the
big
day,
lunch, so I'm like,
with no end in sight.
food sleeping. You ever get that little bit of food tired? They're like, I'm awake, but I
This
just...
has prompted more and more Uldans to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers. While more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry.
Are you done pointing out the obvious there, Alphino? We already know this.
The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Domans asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees.
Okay, so now I
An
finally get
attitude
to the point.
shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions.
No, they were pretty, open about their
It was only a matter
opinions.
of time before the refugees united in protest. Nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence.
I don't think it was, just them rising to violence. I think some aroused them.
That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
Okay. Yes. The state of Ulda with the refugees is not very good right now. As I told you before, it is all but inevitable that, yes, the incident of this kind would eventually occur given the rising tensions with the Sultanate. Nevertheless, I have reason to believe that this particular riot may not have begun spontaneously. No, you think? Have I piqued your curiosity? Good. Then you will accompany me in the hall, to the Hall of Flames. I will hear what General Raubon has to say upon the matter. He's probably over there grunting and grumbling and sounding like Alex Jones. He is pretty much the Alex Jones of Final Fantasy. What are you doing, kitty cat? No. Hello? What are you doing? Ah! Of course, there's Monitora scum. I bet you guys can start rambling about that. Now is not the time for boo-boo. Our hands are full of dealing with the refugees. Precisely the matter I wish to discuss, General. Hoity-toity. Alpha, back on her feet already. You may credit my swift recovery with your chirurgeons. Gag me already. My memories of the riot are still somewhat muddled. I trust you managed to regain control of the situation. I swear his voice, his lines, everything that comes out of this boy's mouth until he gets to Heaven's Word is just utter trash. And he's still idealistic afterwards, but it's just like, oh my god. Somebody put a cap on this kid. Put a cork in it or something. Not entirely. We secured the city soon enough, but not before the unrest has spread to the surrounding territories. Pockets of resistance remain throughout Panelin. We have sent what forces we can spare to root out the last of the belligerents, but progress is slow. They are damnably elusive. I can well imagine, given the majority of the refugees live outside the walls, it stands to reason that they would know the lay of the land. What I do not understand is how they came to be so well prepared. Before my little accident, I observed that several of the refugees were armed, and not with butcher's knives or pitchforks, but with martial weaponry. I need hardly add that such equipment is costly. None can deny that the tensions between Uldan citizenry and the refugee population have increased since the Domans were turned away. But would that motivate a starving man to purchase arms in lieu of food? I think not. And what of those who have not even a single guild to spend, who could not survive without the aid provided by the immortal flames? Surely they would sooner sell a weapon than bring it to bear against their benefactors. Come to the point. Yes, be concise here, boy. Very well. My point, General, is that this powder keg of discontent was not set alight by chance. These events were deliberately set in motion, and now order must be restored. This is my duty. Until it is done, any investigation can wait. I do not have time to discuss this. Our scouts will be returning the nun. Yeah, no, he's got work to do instead of pontificating and thinking about it. Overthinking it. The general is no fool. He keeps his own counsel, and with good cause. Were he to claim, without the necessary proof, that these rioters were instigated by outside forces, the monitors would accuse him of attempting to shirk responsibility. After all, he and the Sultana have been the most outspoken proponents of refugee aid. Regardless, they will face harsh criticism in the days ahead. Our allies may stumble upon the truth in time, but we have far more faith in your abilities, Flipulo. Therefore, I propose we conduct our own investigation, independent of the authorities. To that end, I would have you make inquiries in the settlements suspected of harboring belligerents. Commander Smith will know which they are. He may balk at the request of such information, but I have no doubt you can persuade him with your silver tongue. Yes, my silver tongue, which involves just nodding at people. Meanwhile, shall seek answers in my own way, after which we can regroup and share our findings. Well then, shall we? Why do you put up with this, Flipulo? Really, why do you put up with his, Yeah, it's annoying. You look as though you've something to say, Flipulo, do you? What you ask is no simple favor. Were such information to fall into their own hands, the lives of countless soldiers would be at risk. Even so, there is wisdom in your words. To be an able individual may be better suited to this task than a regiment. Very well. The Brass Blades have reported suspicious activity in the vicinity of Lost Hope. It may be unrelated to recent events, but we doubt it. I suggest you begin by speaking with the Blaze post over there. Yes, I shall. I will speak to the Blades that are over where. Oh, in Lost Hope. Duh, I gotta go teleport. Okay. Is this Lost Hope? I thought this was Lunabix's place. Maybe it's further north as where the materia is. Okay. Oh, the Offric. I didn't expect them to send you, Flipulo. I take it this means someone has read my report. The refugees who left the merchant have yet to return, and I am increasingly concerned that Zazawaka's suspicions were correct. You haven't the foggiest what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind. Speak to Zazawaka. He will explain everything. But there's also another person I gotta talk to. Then what brings you here, adventurer? A search for refugees? Well, then you've come to the right place. Ah, you mean those refugees? Oh no, you won't find them here. Most of the people of Lost Hope have come to accept their situation and are content to pass their days in peace and quiet. Outsiders have trouble understanding that, like the merchant who passed through recently, gregarious fellow, but awfully opinionated. Can't say I was sad to see him go. Adeleji, I know who he is. I know who we're talking about. Even if I didn't know Ben like the first time I came through, I do know now. I didn't really pay attention to like this in-between story stuff as much when I first went through here. It was just so wordy. For my not used to JRPG kind of small mind. Don't hurt me. I'm not one of them. Wait, I know your face. Are you not the woman from the Church of St. Quina? The Saint? Adaman Landaba? I thought it was... Oh, wait, yeah, that's where Marquez was at. Okay. 1,000 pardons, my friend. I mistook you for one of the thugs who have been tormenting us. If the Offric bid you speak with me, then I take you've agreed to help. 12 big praise for that, because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows the flames are on the march. The others have fallen under that fanatic spell, but not I. Promises of revolution or retribution, of holding the ruling class to account and taking that which is owed? Ha! A childish fantasy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving, but few would heed my words. Now that one of our idealists has returned, however, the madness of the merchant's plan is plain to see for all. Look behind yonder tent and you will understand why. Even now he babbles incoherently, so traumatized is he by the bloodshed he witnessed. Try as I can make little sense of his words beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving. Yet I've no doubt that the merchant will lead the remainder to their doom. I beg of you, find them before he does. The Leggy needs to get taken out. Sooner the better. What are you doing? Don't draw. Don't draw. Don't draw. Don't draw? Okay. Why didn't you run away with me? We couldn't have escaped together. Then you'd be here with me. Be here to soothe me. Why did you have to stay and leave me alone? Calm down. Who are you? What do you want? Hi, it's true. I follow the merchant, and many of the gods strike me down for my folly. May the gods strike me down for my folly. What they will not give, you must take, he said. When we asked how, he revealed a cache of weapons he had bought and implored us to seize control of our fates. I thought about running then and there, but the others were so excited. He split us into two groups, sent us off on our own, but when the flames found us, we didn't know what to do. Our leader tried to parley with theirs, but then they started arguing, and then fighting, and then everyone was fighting, and our flames were shouting to give no quarter, and... Oh gods, the other group, are they still out there? If we don't stop them, they'll be massacred like mine was. The terrified refugee would have you find his brethren and convince them to lay down their arms. The other refugees are hiding in the cave south of Lost Hope, but to approach them would be fruitless. They would sooner call us agents of the Sultanate and try to kill us than listen to reason. Why, the twins even deigned to do the deed themselves. A pox on old bloody sellswords. They were supposed to train us to fight, but the ones he sent with us vanished during the struggle. Oh, if only we had never listened to the merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous, and that the gods would never suffer us to be defeated. Well, if they were forced to confront reality, that's it. Challenge the twins to combat, and show my brethren that their strongest warriors are no match for one woman. Mayhap then they will agree to lay down their arms and renounce this plot. Kind of like certain other things that are happening on the surface. You mean like the people that think that they can just, destroy other people's property without recourse until someone does finally step in? When they step in. I don't know when they'll step in. I'm trying not to be political here, but this is very appropriately themed to what's going on in the real world, 7 hills, they found us. Everyone grab your gear and make for the rendezvous point. So that's your game, is it? Sorry to disappoint you, lass, but we're more than willing to kill you ourselves. I think they probably sent about everyone all at once. I didn't even look behind me. I just cast a bunch of spells. You beat them like it was nothing. Oh, almighty. What are we gonna do now? Well, first you can realize that you're an idiot. Lick your wounds. I'm sure I didn't kill them. I'm pretty sure I didn't kill them. I don't know if I got any spells that wouldn't not kill them. They'll be fine. It's a good thing power level isn't taken literally in this game. You've returned. Did you find my brethren? What of the twins? What happened? I see. Well, you had no choice. Better than a handful of them take a beating from you than get butchered by the flames. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was over? I didn't see no merchant. Huh? But where else would he be? Unless he went to Stone's Throw to recruit others? A terrified refugee would have you find the shady figure who's been trying to stir dissent among his brethren. The merchant wished to approach the refugees in stone's throw, but was waiting until the flames withdrew their forces from the vicinity. Now that they have, there's nothing to stop him from continuing his work. How many more must perish in pursuit of this futile cause? How much more suffering must we endure before it ends? Find him, convince him to cease his mad quest. It will surely lead us to ruin. Yeah, seriously, ain't no one ever told you don't bite the hand that feeds you? Where is this supposed to be exactly? I have an arrow. Oh, it's over here. Ha, ha, all of this dust everywhere. Look. Uh-oh, they don't look good. Have you seen my parents? They told me to stay here with the others. They said they'd be back soon, but it's been days. They left with the man from Ulda. The man said they were going to change everything, make it so we could live inside the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like it when he talked about making the people, the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry, and I got scared. Say, miss, are you looking for someone? I'm looking for a merchant. Looking for someone stirring up trouble. I'll talk simple to the kid. What do you mean? The man who left with my parents? But I don't know where he is. Wait, look over there. I think that's him. Well now, which of these gullible fools shall be my next victim? Can you be so outwardly, evil? Why are these people so deliberately villainous? Hi. Yeah, you just caught the eye of the biggest bad you'll ever run into. He's getting away. Go get him, miss. Not a very good hire, are you? You again? Why are you pursuing me? It's okay, calm down. Or, sort of. I don't know what that response was. I don't know why I just waved to him. Sedition, treason, revolution, that's preposterous. Who has filled your head with these lies? Refugees? Self-same refugees who terrorize the streets of Ulda? Huh. You have no evidence to prove your accusations? None. No, I will not accept you to accompany you to the Hall of Flames. You have no right to detain me. I think I will. For the sake of argument, let us say I did do the things you claim. Surely you don't think I give a Kirkin's arse about politics. It was business, only business. And that's how the monetarists work, okay? I just keep stepping. I'm like, you better come with me. We both know I am not the one you want. However, if you agree to protect me, I swear I'll tell you everything. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ow! Ooh. Sniper shot. What's all this commotion? 7 hells. Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be close. And they snuffed out the guy who was going to tell all. Hold on, adventurer. I would know more about your relationship with the victim, as well as the events leading up to his death. Well, it is a little bit. They try really hard, even though they're only half-sized. This man was responsible for the recent riots. Mayhap you owe his murderer a debt of gratitude. In any case, it's obvious you are not the one whom we seek. You may carry on with your investigation, son. I'm basically the Thal of Whitebrim. Or Thane of Whitebrim, whatever. Like, there was a murder that happened, and you were the closest one to him. Ooh, let it slip. Ooh, what do we got here? We got role players on the bridge. Isn't that cute? I want to see what's going on here. Walk up and tell. Okay. What is that? Left hand fully wrapped, cursed arm. I see. Whatever they're doing, they're probably doing something. I like open world role players. People that don't just stay in the city and actually go out on adventures. This is one of my favorites. I've always speculated the reason why people don't do it as often as they should is because of, thankfully in Final Fantasy, when you leave outside the gates, the server you're on, that's where you are, that's where everyone is. So you're not gonna, necessarily lose track of who where people are if you want to, follow someone out or whatever. But I feel like everyone gathers into the one hub area to try and find something. Yeah, sort of where I was moving. Yeah, exactly. I would, if they could facilitate it somehow, I would love to make, actual trading and, dragging a chocobo cart and stuff around, going from place to place. Having that actually, be a roleplay viable, but also kind of a progressive way to play, profitably, in-game. Trying to find meaning in life. You okay? What news, Popo? Where is the merchant? He's dead. He was about to spill the beans, but someone silenced him. Murdered? Damn it, elves of the 7th hell. He was not simply murdered, Popo. He was silenced. Too many knew his face, and he was ready to divulge his secrets. Do not despair, though. You may be close to identifying the true orchestrator of these riots than you realize. Yeah, no, it's pretty obvious. We've got someone with a lot of money, and he's a merchant, and he has a hand inside wanting to help the refugees. He's being fake sympathetic anyways. Just the fact that he's a rich merchant, you can narrow it down to making one of the syndicate suspects, because there's only 6 people on the syndicate. And then you gotta think, okay, everyone else left and didn't want to help the refugees. Who would be meddling with the refugees? Oh, Kaleji. Alright, fine. Tell me how this is going to... How are they gonna have the brain fart that, I don't know. The Flint General left word that you would be, were to proceed to the Fragrant Chamber as soon as you returned. He wishes to discuss your recent discoveries as well as the results of our own investigation. Master Alphino has already been informed and should be awaiting you waiting for you outside. Pray, proceed to the Royal Promenade and with all haste and speak with Bartholomew. Pray return, but not really. Why are you sitting? We have attention people, we have a naked Rothgar. We have a naked Rothgar who is bathing in the city fountain. There's just some dude cat just sitting out there in the fountain. It's just like, oh man, it's so hot over here. I should have read if you got like any like suspicious tags or anything, like, you know, MRP or something like that. I don't know. Or if it had like, you know, where they do the 2 boy symbols if they try to indicate what their orientation is that they're trying to look out for. Sorry, I got a really delicious drink of eggnog I want to try and work on here. Now, I know I shouldn't drink it as much as I have, and I haven't. I've only had like 1 every other day. It's still a lot of calories, though. But I'm just like, holy cow. I am in love with Southern eggnog. I'm gonna have to find like an authentic recipe and maybe make it sometime. Alright, Alphino, what you gotta, what nonsense you gotta say right now? Excellent work, Faplupo. The information you brought us will help me persuade General Raban to call, helped me persuade General Raban to call this meeting. Now we can discuss matters openly and honestly. I don't know how or when I relayed that information to you, though, Alphino. We have been expecting you, madam. Please proceed inside. Yeah, there's civil unrest, and I'm pretty sure...
Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities.
Okay.
Made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Well, we bonked some heads, and we said, no, bad. They might not be able to provide much, but they aren't trying to harm you.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, the truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
This information does not leave this room.
Yeah, I guess they are aware of, like, more of what happened.
The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination. Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate.
Hey, villain, how you doing?
Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence. Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
A unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters.
Yeah, corrupt move.
It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
Actually, what's really funny is this is how the Civil War actually happened. Not gonna get into too much detail about it, but the southern states in America, they were building a port to compete with New York City, and the president didn't like it at the time. But they couldn't like just outright, stop them. So they had to instigate some sort of way to the South and the North or whatever, they were already at tensions, and so someone wanted to break the dam. So what they did is they actually deliberately marched troops through a southern town, and they didn't fire upon them until someone had first, attacked or provoked a soldier. But just the fact that they deliberately were marching Union soldiers through this southern town to try and make them angry. It's so messed up. America's history is messed up. But this is basically what they're doing here. They're like, okay, well, a little more deliberately. They're just, outright killing protesters to spark them into violence. Not that they have a port out in the refugee area to compete with Ulda. I think they just want to remove the problem. Anyways, weird kind of, sort of not relevant side tangent history thing. I don't know. It feels similar to what is going on. Some of these things they're trying to talk about.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you for pointing out exactly what I was thinking about.
Teleji Adeleji.
Well, why are you so
But he spoke
surprised?
in favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield.
Oh, right. So it's disputed territory, but in order to keep things civil, the PvP grounds, the lore is that area on Cartano Flats, they don't necessarily kill each other, but they fight each other, like in mock battles, the three grand companies, because each nation has their own, overpopulation issue. And they're all probably trying to, looking at that land and thinking we could put these people here. So, yeah. That's just Ulda's side of, Ulda's stake in
The
the
destruction
land.
wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Alagon ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement.
Are they gonna explain what I tried to, say just a moment ago? I don't know why I'm doing this. Why am I bothering explaining if the story's gonna tell us anyways? Also, I'm doing good. Spent a little bit more time just kind of checking things out and making sure my videos and all that were all up and running, and then I went online, because, lots of stuff to go through.
Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations.
So, your day might be over, but my day is pretty much just started. His voice lines, I don't need to read it
In
out.
full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill. A shameless, bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Alagon ruin.
Oh, jeez. And a lower thing that they skip over.
Threaten the unity of the Eorzean alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
Okay, so down when it was still a whole moon, it wasn't like ruins and stuff. It was teeming with chimeric beasts and stuff. So whenever the pieces of the moon fell to the ground, those beasts that were like being used as basically blood vessels inside the machinery of the moon, they all got released. And so whenever it makes a comment about an orphanage by every elegant ruin, it's like, yeah, they'll get eaten, probably, or worse. Not as bad as Void Sun, but they're pretty close to the same bad.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution. His sympathy for the plight of the Domans was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Oh, cool. I'm glad you got the notification. It's still processing the HD version. I don't know why it takes so long, but...
Possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths. What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate?
Omega.
Omega.
Pardon?
Oh my god.
An Oligon monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Oligon inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself. If accurate, it might explain why Nail Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cartano Flats. Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon, one which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential cannot accurately be gauged. However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
Power enough to subjugate Uldar like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Uldar.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
Yeah. I don't know why I had that meeting in the hall, because obviously it's not private. I think they did that on purpose, though. I think they're all of them are trying to set up Teleji Adeleji to try and get him out. Recent revelations weigh heavily on Alpha's mind. I should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought that this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. Haven't we dealt with that like 5 times already in this game? And we haven't even gotten to Heaven's Ward. We haven't even seen the Holy See. How long do you think they intend to hide the existence of Omega from the Cylons? That they even felt the need to do so is more troubling. It would be in our best interest to learn more of military activities in disputed territories. Fortunately, we are already well positioned to do so, Lieutenant Fukuko. Pray keep us informed of developments in Carsino. Begone, well, this is no place for children. Uh-oh. She's still looking for her parents. I'm sorry. Oh, this is sad. This is actually kind of sad. I think her parents got killed in the massacre. I was looking for you, miss. You said you were looking for, the man who left with my parents. You know this girl? I happened upon her. So he visited Stone's Throw as well. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I'm afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be. If you like, we can go and look for them together. Really? You'll help me look, mister? Of course. But first, I must needs finish speaking with my friend. She's telling me a secret, you see, and no one else is allowed to listen. Maybe you could wait for me over the pillow over there? We require but a moment. God. Okay, mister. I'll be waiting. I'll take her to the quicksand. Mayhap Momoi will know what to do. Legion of Garleans, an Aether Star Primal, even though dealing with an Ascian would be more preferable to this charade. Yeah, no, we're pretty sure her parents died, so we gotta try and find out where to put her. I sometimes fear Minfilia is too ambitious. We must we rush hither and yon to in response to threats that as they arise, without concern for the strain it places on our limited resources and ourselves. Thank you for pointing it out. I have been thrown about the world quite a bit. Mayhap the time has come for a change. Fukubu, this is Minfilia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Redmond's Toll with all due haste. The situation in 12's has taken a turn for the worst. I will explain in detail once you arrive. Alright, but I'm gonna have a word with my union before we're done. The 12's would? Then the primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed? I received no reports of Exfil activity, which leaves the Silks. Go, Fukuku. I know as well as, you know as well as I that the appearance of primals takes precedence over all else. So when you arrived, you informed the antecedent that while I'm grateful for her concern, she didn't fear for my safety. I'm more than capable of protecting myself. I guess I can just teleport to the Rising Stones. Would it surprise you to know that there's even a bigger weapon after Omega? It's like, oh, Omega's a big weapon, and we thought Ultimate was big. Oh, that weapon that we're facing now was big, and we thought Omega was big. There it is. It's always bigger and bigger weapons, and eventually we're gonna find out the world is like mechanized on the inside. I don't think it is. I think it's like crystal, but sometimes Japanese people will do that with their stories. They'll just be like, yeah, no, the universe is a machine. Alright, Serpent Hero, what do you gotta say here? I've come on behalf of the Elder Seer to petition the aid of your order. The antecedent has been apprised of the situation. It is a relief that you, see you healthy and hale, Fukubu. The latest news from Ulda was most disturbing. clearly the only injury Alphinaud suffered was his ego. Doubtless it will heal ere long. The other Cylons will just making jabs at the guy behind his back. The other Cylons will need to be present for this meeting. If you're ready to begin, I will summon them now. The Lord of Levin. Thank you for responding to my call with such haste. Alright, one sec, I got a call I gotta answer. Okay. Fine, fine, fine. One thing I'm gonna double check here before I get back to streaming. Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm back now. Kinda. Sorta. Okay, Winco food. Why am I talking about my personal stuff out loud? That's pretty good. Okay. Alright. Well, let's see. What time is it? 4? Let me wrap this up. We'll get done with this quest, and then I gotta do stuff because I got a job, so I gotta do that thing. So, anyways, yeah, sorry for cutting the stream short. For anyone that's watching this weird VOD thing, I don't know if I'll be able to like attach it to another stream or something, or if I'll just skip over this little dialogue bit. I mean, it's got interesting stuff that we went over, but yeah, no, I might come back on stream once I get that sorted out, but at least right now, I don't think I want to leave the stream on while I'm doing that other stuff. So, anyways, let's wrap this up real quick here. See, rest assured, I do not, I should not have summoned you here. Should not have summoned you here were it not urgent. So business then, I have received some most disturbing news from the Order of the Twin Adder. They have reasons to believe that the Sylphs have been called forth, have called forth their revered guardian, the Primal Remo. I'm sorry, may have. Then it is not certain. The Elder Seer informs us the elementals themselves murmur of Lord Levin's return to the forest. The Sylphlings, however, display no signs of undue commotion. Forgive me, antecedent, but that fact need not contradict the elemental's testimony. Unlike his more bellicose compeers. Why are you using big words? Stop it, shut up. Garuda and so on. Ramon is reputed to act only in the defense of his children. I imagine he would soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly endanger the Sylphs or their territory. The abruptness of this development concerns me. Were we not keeping close watch on the touched ones and their movements? If preparations for a summoning ritual were indeed underway, it would surely not have escaped your notice. Oh, it didn't. I was pretty sure it was going on. Just not this soon. Beg your pardon? You foresaw this eventuality and did not to prevent it? Hold on. I told Papa Limo I suppose I could have reported things to Minophilia earlier. But there honestly wasn't much we could could do except wait and see. You know how the Sylphs feel about people poking around in their territory? They already summoned Rumble once right after the calamity, but that was because the Garleans came trampling through the forest. And so long as Castrum Oryns stands, the Sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have a guardian deity on hand. In short, Ida and I are in agreement. The actions of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. I think we established that whenever we first encountered Ramon. Or talked about Ramon. And I maintain that observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud that, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, recent violence in Ulda drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees. Tis like the Sylphs perceived this panicked migration as yet another invasion and quickened their efforts to summon their god. I am put to mind of Titan and the kobolds. Once again, is the affairs of men which have paved way for the primal's coming. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place the Yarzun would be without the civilizing influence of mankind. Be that as it may, this regrettable development does afford us a unique opportunity. But through your dealings with the Sylphs of Little Saws, you once succeeded in preventing the untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder, might one who was treated with the Sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieve similar success with their patron deity? If Fruml can be convinced of our intentions, it may be the first step to breaking the cycle of primal summoning. No, I got a screening and stuff to do, so it's just real world stuff I gotta do and pretty quickly. So it's gonna interrupt me being able to stream. So I might as well just, once we're done with this dialogue, I'll cut it and maybe pop back whenever I've got that all finished. So yeah, a fond hope. Were such a thing possible, we would not have been at war with the Beastmen since time immemorial. But maybe this time we can... Let us continue this discussion anon. We must needs first consult with the nation most affected by Ramoa's presence. The Elder Seer has requested your personal involvement, Pupupu. Pray report to Commander at the Elder's Nest as soon as you are able. Steel yourself for the worst. I will hope for a peaceful resolution in this matter. Experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Levin will prove less than amicable. In such an event, I and your fellow Scions will, of course, lend you whatever support you require. Alright. Okay, so, we had some Uldan intrigue, and I will be back. I don't imagine this is going to take me more than like an hour, but if it takes a little bit longer than that, I gotta stop streaming. So I'll be back. Thank you all, and maybe I'll see you later on this afternoon.